Today's Leadership Corner conversation is about leadership, community impact, and building legacy through real estate. Our guest is an entrepreneur and community advocate creating opportunities through business ownership, service, and access. This is a conversation about leading with purpose and creating lasting impact. Hey, welcome to It's a Wifey Thing podcast. I'm Pansy Johnson, and I'm all about encouraging, educating, and elevating young professionals. And on this podcast, our mission is to impact the next generation of leaders through authentic conversations and real life experiences. Y'all, welcome to another episode of the Leadership Corner series. If this is your first time tuning in, a little bit about the Leadership Corner series. We are featuring prominent leaders who are doing amazing things in their careers, in the community, and they are coming on the podcast to share their career journey and what got them to where they are today. And so I am super excited about the guest speaker today. She is just one of one. A little bit about her, she is the principal broker and owner of Goss Management Realty. She's also the founder of SheBuild, and she just leads with so much poise, so much class, and so much confidence. Anytime I connect with her, anytime I talk to her, she's always pouring into women. Specifically, and is a huge advocate for community building. And so we're going to get into that conversation today. But without further ado, I would like to welcome Miss Anika Dixon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yes. For those who don't know, me and Anika, we crossed paths through the Little Rock Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we actually served on the same committee. And I remember just like my first interaction, number one, I was like, this woman got style, and your personality just lights up the room. Like, yes, like you're just you, and y'all are gonna see today, right?
Be ready.
You're just you, and I love that. I love that, but also,
so I have to be on my good behavior today.
You know what? Authentic conversations. Authentic conversations. So just be you.
Okay.
So yes, we're going to get into, as you can see now, like that's who she is, and I'm just so grateful to know you.
Thank you. So it's mutual respect. Me and my husband was asking me, he was like, what are you doing? I said, I'm about to be interviewed by this rock star. That's all you need to know.
He's
like, oh, okay.
I love it. Well, thank you again.
Yeah,
thank you again. So I want to go back, like to where it all started with you.
Okay.
So tell us,
like back.
Okay, we're going back. Where it all started.
Okay.
And just take us on this journey. So let's start from like where you originally from.
Okay.
And did you always see yourself in entrepreneurship? So let's start there.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. So I was born in Ashdown, Arkansas, which is Little River County, so like outside of Texarkana. But I spent so many summers in Wilton, Ogden. If you're familiar with that area, so I'm a bougie country girl, okay? Nothing wrong with it,
right.
And so didn't ever live there, but I spent many summers there. And so that foundation was just beautiful. Oh my goodness. And then my parents, because I'm the oldest of three girls, and so my parents, they moved to Little Rock. We lived in Little Rock for a moment. Then Dad got with UPS, so we moved to Forest City. So Forest City, about before, I guess, 5th grade, then back here, and so I've been here since then. So entrepreneurship. Yeah, 13. But we weren't saying entrepreneurship. I didn't know that word at 13. And so, but I knew that I wanted to be a business owner. I probably shouldn't say, because you'll kick me out of your studio, some of the things I thought I was going to do. But I knew I wanted to sign the checks. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so right around the time, my husband and I, we've been married 31 years, together 35 years. You know, I don't know if you know both the girls, but I know you know Ash Tone, and she's going on 32. Aisha is going on 29. And so Anthony and I was buying our first home. And so he said, he doesn't remember this story, but he was like, have you thought about real estate? He said, because you've been on these people's butt. And back then, we were dual agency with real estate. So that meant, not dual agency. The agent was only representing the seller. We didn't have representation.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh my goodness, this is tough. This is tough. The agent was tough because he was representing the seller. The loan officer was basically representing the seller in that side too. But it was our loan officer.
Wow.
They did not look like us. And so that was tough, but I was like, And I remember the loan officer saying, it's tough when you are right on the fence looking over and you can't get over there.
Wow.
So yeah.
But
we purchased, he said that. I'm not making this up. Anything I say, I'm not making up today. Wow. And so he said that, and I remember looking at Anthony, my husband, like, this fool has lost his mind. But we purchased the home. We got in the home, and that was the goal. And so we always have to remember, I'll use analogies. I'm big on analogies. And so I thought about this interview. I have another saying, but I'll clean it up. In every relationship, we have to think about, do we want to be an eagle or do we want to be an ostrich? And so there's value in both of those birds, but that eagle is going to fly so high and see from an aerial view. The ostriches always stand on the ground, looking up, like, gosh, I want to get up there to the eagle.
Wow.
So we were like, okay, we're ostriches, but we're trying to be up there. So yeah, and that's how I live life to this day. But yeah, am I an eagle or am I an ostrich?
Wow. Am I an eagle or am I an ostrich?
Yeah.
That right there is enough to I'm saying sit with in itself.
Yes. We have to think, because even raising the girls, they would say, okay, I'm being with the phrases that I taught them, but I'm more or less being an ostrich now, but I'm trying to move to be eagle level. Long as you know that, because even people have debated this. And I say, you can't debate it. Even your dog, the dog is eagle level because we're feeding it, we're taking care of it, but we love it, but still there's not one relationship where you are not one or the other.
Wow. That right there, stopped me in my tracks. It makes you really think of where you are.
Yes.
Right. Where you are, and what do you need to do to get to where you want to go? How do you get to that?
How do you get there? And we have to be quiet. We have to be still at times. There's a generation gap between us, but we have to work together. Because if not, we're not going to be, all of us should be eagle level. We won't get there.
Exactly. And that is why I created the Leadership Corner series. That is why.
Yes.
Because I see the gap in the generations. And it's you have the younger generation, that's trying to get there. But again, how do you bridge that gap? And that is exactly why we're sitting here today.
Yes, we have to. But even the generation of my parents, I remember talking to a prominent Black leader around here. And I said, how do you get on these boards? How do you get, and this was just less than 10 years ago. And they said, well, you keep your ear to the pavement. And I was thinking, what the hell does that mean?
Okay. Please elaborate. I was just about to say, what does that mean?
Dad. And, because they're the same generation. He's like, well, kid, you just listen and you just, keep your ear to the pavement. I said, y'all are goofy.
We need the step by step.
Yes. And so if I need the step by step, I know that you really need
the
it.
Step. Okay.
Come on. But you can't chat GPT. You can't claw these this knowledge up here. You cannot. We can give the prompts, but we can't do 30. I've been in real estate. November will be 30 years. I've been broker owner this year will be 22 years. So I'm gonna quit talking.
Congratulations! No, this is good because this is good. This is what it's all about. Authentic conversations about real life. This is your real life.
This is my life.
Like
yes.
we're talking about the nitty gritty.
Yes.
Right. And so we want to get into that. But don't worry, we're gonna have plenty. Okay. So yes, we'll go back. You talked about, right, y'all were in this real circumstance. Y'all are trying to get, your home. And
we're trying to be George and Wheezy.
Hello.
The Jeffersons. Yes.
And y'all are running into issues. You know what I'm saying? You're running into these obstacles.
We are.
And you're seeing, hey, well, what if, you're starting to have those wheels turn. So what was the specific moment, if you have it, if you can just think about one? I'm sure it was a couple, but what was that specific moment where you were like, okay, I want to do this myself?
Oh, that's a good question. So I had been with one of our prominent real estate companies. So I started off with a smaller African-American brokerage when I first got my license. But they were doing some things. I mean, they were just doing it. But there was no one in the brokerage that could slow down or wanted to slow down to train me how to be a rock star like they were. Right. So I'm like, okay. So then I got with another smaller brokerage and we just had a great time. We were a family. We learned so much because they were a newer brokerage. We learned so much together. And so the principal broker at the time, Roy Hanna, it was Dana Henderson at first. Then Roy Hanna took over, and Roy was he was in the military, but he was a drug dealer in the military, like in Germany or something. So Roy had that legal hustle mindset, and we just loved each other because I do too. And so we loved it, and Roy passed away. And right around the time I was like, Roy, I need more, or I thought I needed more, and it devastated him. And so I said, I need more. So I got with Rainy Realty and stayed there and thought I was going to, get with the big boys and learn more. Well, I brought so much value from those other two companies, those other two Black, African-American, however you want to say it, companies that I had been with, that I was of value to Rainy. And so I was like, this is interesting. And so I had been there, I don't know, maybe 5 or so years, and they kept having a turnover with their property management, their property manager. And I said, well, you know what, I need more stable income. The girls, their daycare was higher than our mortgage. And so I'm like, okay, I need some more stable money. And, Anthony, of course, was working. He had a good, solid job, but it just wasn't enough. And so they kept overlooking me. They overlooked me about 3 times. And so I said, well, I work with so many first-time home buyers. This is the transition, the next transition. So, why not? And so they finally was like, what the hell? We might as well. And so that's how I got into property management. And that was unbelievable. You never know how God is saying, okay, I got a plan for your little crazy self. I need you to just kind of calm down. Right. And so property management. So even when I opened, it was originally AC Dixon and Associates Realty. So I am AC, Anika Dixon, but I'm thinking, okay, Janet Jones, the name. I'm like, I kind of want to hide a little bit. And so some days, Anthony would be AC. Some days, Ashton may be AC, because we're all A Dixon. Right. And so that was funny, but and that was just interesting because I opened 2 businesses at the same time, real estate and property management. But God didn't want me to see that, because when I had talked to SCORE and other people, they were like, if we had known you were going to do that, we would have discouraged that. And I was like, well, God had a bigger plan, because he didn't want me to see that. He didn't want me to know that.
Exactly.
And my first piece of business, so I opened the brokerage that November of 2024, that around Thanksgiving of that same month was my first piece of business, and it was property management. So if I had not done that, I wouldn't have been able to pay some of my bills. Yes. So you've got to be still and just open to listening. That's why my 4:30 walks, because I wake up, even when I'm coaching people, I say, because are you an early morning person? Right. I kind of knew that. It's so
No.
that's okay. But if I were coaching you, I would say, Pansy, get up with me. Give me 6 a.m. Because at that time, my 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I can hear my thoughts. That is one of the only times in the day. Because by 8 o'clock, Pansy, life is
You
you
moving.
Traffic, everything. But and so 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna push you to 5 o'clock. Give me 6. And when I have done that, oh my gosh, people are like, this is unbelievable. It has changed my life.
Noted.
Yes. When I do those walks, my neighborhood, small neighborhood, little quaint neighborhood, and I go around and I can hear the birds, I can hear the crickets, I can hear my neighbor's wind chimes, but I also can have the conversation with myself, and I can have it with my CEO. I can have it with God.
So good. I'm over here learning. I'm like, girl, you need to be getting up. You need to be getting up
Yes.
at 4:30. Yeah, even at 6. I've been going to the gym, and I've been getting up early and going, and I do feel like I'm just more. It sets the tone for my entire day.
Yes.
It sets the tone.
Oh my
And
goodness.
that quietness is like
It's
major.
It really is.
It's major, and you can hear your thoughts.
Yes.
Because once the day get going, you're moving until you lay down.
Yes. And even when you lay down, we're still, I have some attention deficit. It's my superpower and it's my crazy power. But, you got to be like, okay, Anika, calm down. But when I give myself and I give God that early morning, I don't have to say that.
So good. You dropping gems. You came out swinging. We is like, it's a home run. There you go. So, first off, that was just a phenomenal story of just how you guys started. And like you said, it wasn't something. I think a lot of times we fall into these things. Like as far as you didn't know that you had started real estate and property management.
No, I knew it, but I didn't think of it as two different businesses.
Businesses, right?
No, it was like, this is what I do. So why not do both? Yeah.
Wow. Go getter. That's what. And too, I think too, what I also am learning and just hearing from you too is like, don't be afraid to pivot.
Oh my, you can't.
Pivot.
Even now, I will be 55 in August.
Oh, you look so good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I'm thinking, okay, am I hitting burnout? Do I need something different? Even though, I'm constantly trying to keep the balls in the air, but it's hard. In my age group, I'm hearing so many of us say that. And so I'm like, okay, Anika, is it time for another pivot? But is this pivot a bit more quiet?
So good.
Or just totally different? I'm thinking, if I lose a few pounds, maybe I could be a flight attendant. Maybe I could just do, I don't know. Yeah. But I love my SheBuild, so we'll talk about that.
Yes. So I want to dive even a little bit deeper into the Goss Management side of things. Like, what are some lessons that you learned throughout your career in real estate and property management as well? Like, what are some of the lessons that you learned?
Let me take a step back. How I hadn't even talked about how I became Goss from Anika Dixon. So you want to talk about that?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So my mentor / friend buddy, Sally Goss, she had been in property management for about 30 years at the time. And so we were in the National Association of Residential Property Manager organization. So I would see her during these monthly meetings and I would say, y'all hold on to this nugget, okay? I would say, Sally, if you ever think about selling, let me know. Sally, if you ever think about this, years. So she was like, okay, girl, I don't know when. Okay, girl, we would have lunch maybe 1 or 2 times a year, whatever, just staying connected. Now, there were other property managers I could have done that with, but Holy Spirit said, no, your energy is connecting this direction.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And so it was around September of 2026. And I had a closing. Anthony don't know this, so hopefully he won't see this interview. But I had a closing. Holy Spirit said, financially, y'all are okay. So set this money aside. I was like, okay. So around November, I called my friend Kevin, who was doing travel business. I said, Kevin, I need to me, myself, and our trip. And I said, but I don't want Mexico or somewhere, nothing against my brown sisters and brothers, but I want to see people that look like me, that look like us. And so he's like, when you want to go? I said, as soon as possible. He said, well, sis, why ain't bro going? I said, because I need to go by myself. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna stay out of that. So he booked me Jamaica. He booked me a VIP experience from the time I touched down to the resort to everything, to the time I left was in Jamaica. And it was about 4 days or so. It was the most beautiful experience. That was the first time. I had done staycations, but that was the first time. So my daughters were like, Mommy, what are you doing? Are you gonna be okay? Of course, Anthony's like, who you going with? What you doing?
Like, listen, we need you to come back safe.
Well, he was like, I don't think you're going by yourself.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? If you're here when I come back, great. If you're not, we'll deal with it. But I need this. Well, Pansy, it was God's way of taking care of me because that was the best trip. When I returned 2 months after that is when Sally called me up one Friday for property management. Fridays are busy as heck for us. And so she calls me up and she's like, hey girl, I said, hey, what's going on? She says, well, I'm thinking about hanging up my dancing shoes. I said, well, I didn't know you dance, but what's the purpose of this conversation? I'm busy. And she said, I'm retiring and I want to talk to you about buying my business.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. She goes, can you give me 15 minutes to talk? I want to come to the office and we talk. And I said, okay. So she'd given me a price. And I said, well, let me think about it. Then she had told me how much down. Well, when our mom passed, there was, money from that. So Pansy, for 20 plus years, my sisters and I, we had $300,000 apiece. You're in banking. I held on to that money that entire time. I mean, we did some stuff, help the girls through
compounding.
Well, it was just because my level of thinking wasn't, it was just God, just me living below my means, seeing my parents do that. And so we still worked, so we didn't always need that money.
Right.
Well, Holy Spirit said maybe about 5 years before that, 3-5 years, said, quit spending any of that money. And I'm like, okay. Okay. So Sally asked for $10,000 to put down. I had $13,000 left. Yes.
You cannot tell me that God is not real.
And we didn't have to take out a loan. I paid her the amount she told every month for 3 years. So as the pandemic hit, she calls me up and she's like, girl, I know this pandemic is crazy. I don't know if owners are quitting, what's going on. And so if you need to stop paying me for a few months, I said, oh no, we're still good. So I need to pay this loan off. So the last month, the amount, I sent her the full amount, but it was like $4,000 over. So she's like, you sent me too much money. I'm going to send you a check back. And I said, okay, I need the money anyway, so thanks. God.
Wow.
Yes.
So I want to know, how did you know? Because you said you was always set in stone, and I know the Holy Spirit dropped these. But like, was there a moment where you're like, yes, I'm saying you wanting to stay connected. Obviously, see, y'all had that relationship already, but you said it was some connection piece there with Goss Management specifically. Because you're right, it could have been other.
Oh, it could have been. There were other. Literally, I won't name names, but there wasn't a connection with him. There was not a connection. So you have to be, again, you've heard me say multiple times, quiet and still and listen. Listen. Those early morning walks, listening. And they're following the energy, like our energy.
Right.
Our energy doesn't match everybody. We don't want
Facts.
to match everybody.
Facts.
I
Ooh,
don't
that's
like
good.
mean girls. I don't like mean people. I can be a B, but you're only going to see that side of me. You've never seen me be a B.
Right.
And you don't want to. But no.
Right.
Yes. And so you have to, as people, as women, we have to listen to our spirit of discernment. Yes. I say, my God knows that I curse. He probably is like, girl, if you don't sit your dumb butt down at times.
He knows all of it.
Yes. And so we have to have those CEO talks with him. Yes.
So, woo!
Were you ready to
come?
Were you
Listen,
ready?
was I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know. This is good.
Thank you. I'm glad.
This is good because I also want to go into like you mentioned, that connection piece.
But let me say, so when we bought Goss, so the real estate commission says, okay, you have to decide on a name. So AC Dixon had been in existence about 13 years. Goss 30 years. I said, okay. AC Dixon's my baby. But Goss is going to help me keep my green, like the color even darker of your
Hello.
And I had to make that decision. And my owners were like, what? What are you doing? Like, why can't you keep the name? Our fee's going to go up. What does this mean? I said, calm down. We're still here. We're still family. And so I kept that name because I had to think about it, Pansy. If we had made this investment into a McDonald's, because I looked at Goss as a franchise, as an old brand, as its own brand, but AC Dixon was also. But I said, Anika, how do you keep your money green? Keep the name Goss for 5 to 7 years, and we're past that now. And but yeah, and so that's why I kept the name. And so people still don't know that I own Goss, which is so funny to me because it's been since 17. And I go, okay, so that's 9 years. But that's been interesting because I never experienced racism like I have since buying this company.
I was just about to ask you.
Girl, it's real. Woo-hoo! Oh my. And so I said to my dad, because my dad was in upper management with UPS. She was at home, but she could have been anybody's CFO. But that was their relationship. That was what they chose. And so with him being in upper management, like when UPS brought their jet out, I remember Dad being in the picture. I mean, all of these, and he was the only little piece of color in these pictures. And so I said, Dad, why did you not talk to the three of us about racism? Because I know you experienced this. And he said, kid, would you have listened to me? I said, I'm your oldest. I listened to everything. I said, you don't realize how much I wasn't listening to and seeing and observing. Anthony says, you should have had your butt outside playing. I said, I was right at the door. I was playing and listening, playing and listening.
Trying to learn, trying to see what's going on.
And so racism, woo! Even to this day, I had a conversation with an owner. You heard me say 9 years, and he recently says to me, when Sally owned this, and Pansy, normally my behavior is not like that. I really pick my battles. I said, you are saying something to me that has happened 9 years ago. You getting your money on time. And I've never heard, because you didn't do your repairs. Now it's on us. And now you mentioned ownership from 9 years ago. He says, okay, Anika, okay, calm down. Because I'm being nice now, because I was not that nice. I was like, this is some malarkey. But that's not what I was thinking.
Right. How do you, being a person of color, and I know it's also being a woman.
Racism, ageism, sexism. I don't have ageism as much going on 55, but racism and sexism.
How do you navigate that? And still keep the poise, the professionalism, and knowing, okay, I own this company. Like, people depend on, you.
Great question. The Leo in me has to come out. If you're into zodiac signs, I am a true Leo. Now, I don't need a lot of attention, but I am a true Leo. and I will curse with the best of them behind closed doors. Oh my, but you know what? Like, I could be on the phone with you and you and I just had some words, and I will hang up that phone and I will pick up that next phone for a next opportunity. You heard me say next opportunity. And you won't ever know that you and I just had words. I have had staff members that think I was bipolar. I said, no, I'm professional and I'm about my money because I pay you your check. I have never missed a payroll I had my first employee about 6 months into starting the business in AC Dixon. I have never missed payroll. Now, I think one time I did something crazy, but I have never missed payroll. Now, because I've been an employee of the business for about 15 years. So if I'm coming to you and I need a loan, I can get you your pay stubs. I can get you your W-2s. I can get you everything. And as Black business owners, I don't see that a lot.
Right.
Am I answering your question?
Yes. Yes.
And it's like, especially the contractors, I'm like, but fellow agents? I'm like, yo, come on. This is our business. You can set up as a real estate agent even for another brokerage. You can set up, but I was sitting back listening when I was with the big boys and seeing what our white counterparts were doing. And that's what they were doing. Those commission checks would come in, they would cut them as an employee of their company.
Woo! You giving us the blueprint. You're giving us the blueprint, and it makes me ask we have to ask ourselves, why aren't we in that position? What is holding us back?
We're not talking enough. We're not collaborating enough. We're not having honest and transparent conversations, because you and I both know if we're talking with our counterparts and they trust us, we're gonna know a whole bunch of stuff. But as Blacks, we are not. We want to hide. We want to act like we have it going on. And just because I'm at a solid place now doesn't mean I wasn't there 7 years ago, so I can tell you about my pain. Right. But it's got to be mutual sharing of happy, the good, bad, and not so pretty.
Right.
You telling me just you're happy? I'm thinking you are full of BS. Because if you're that blessed, that's wonderful, because I want to know how you're that blessed. But I know almost 55 years, you're full of it. And you know what? Because you don't want to talk to me, I don't have to talk to you. I will talk. I'm an open book.
Right.
But don't BS me.
Woo! Woo! Girl, mic dropped.
I mean, don't. Because I'm sitting here, your authenticity is going to come out. I mean, I read people.
Right.
I talk a lot, but I read you.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? No.
All I'm thinking is, I'm just thinking in my head too. I'm also thinking about the scenarios that I've been in where I will say I've been 100% supported by people that look like me.
Sure.
But also I noticed that when it comes to getting in the rooms, most of that came from someone that does not look like me.
And your industry is interesting because, of course, so many of us my age have started out together. We started out, trying to claw our way up. And it's only one around the table. There is power in numbers, and I am sorry, but one person is not going to get it when it's 30 plus of others. Those statistical numbers do not make sense. Right. If we were putting this in an Excel spreadsheet, how would that look?
Exactly.
Yes.
And we talk about pushing a needle and advocating for each other, but like when you get to the table, are you really truly advocating for someone else?
Yes, because Chamber of Commerce, Ivan Hudson, when he was doing the DEI, Lord, they not gonna ban us because we're mentioning DEI, are they?
This authentic.
yours.
Yeah,
This yours.
Yes.
But I mean, when we could talk about, because we had I was the chairman of the committee, and so we had, because this was after Joyce Rayner had been doing it, and she had been giving her all into it. So then, and she was a volunteer over it. So then Ivan came in, and he was a paid staff member with the chamber. It was such a wonderful connection of individuals, and I'm talking white women, black women. We had some black men, but it was mainly Ivan and the black and white women. And I mean, it was unbelievable, because Holly Fish and I, we met 20 some years ago. We still are connected. I mean, there are so many relations. That's my little bro. I mean, there are beautiful relationships because we understood we got to pull everybody up. It makes no sense. You know, hey, Holly, do you know about this? Hey, Anika, I'm starting this women's program. I want you to be, still to this day.
Right.
And so are we getting closer to that, or are we pulling further away from those times?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I don't know, which is why I do see more division now.
I agree with you.
I'm like, how do we bridge the gap? And that's where this came. It's like the only way I know, at least generationally. And also, yes, I'm very well connected with people of color as well. But having this platform to be able to put the spotlight, because also not only just put the spotlight, on the generations, but like it is so many phenomenal people of color, Hispanic, minorities that are doing it.
Yes.
I mean, that are doing it. And that is what this is all about. And also us being able to hear your story.
Well, thank you for the platform, because so many times it's always the same faces. It's always the same stories. And it's just like, there's so many other voices and opportunities and connections out here.
Right.
So good.
Right.
Kudos to you.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, this has been so good. So I want to, if there is someone that is listening that may be interested in starting their own property management, real estate company, or even getting into the industry, what advice would you give them?
Have a team. Because, and have some people that are smarter than you around that team. But also make sure that they are not against you. They don't always have to be for you, but because they need to be honest.
Right.
And when I'm saying a team with real estate and property management, we're talking having a good attorney that's protecting you and or your evictions, because those could be two separate lanes. You need to have a darn good CPA, financial, but not only a CPA, a financial advisor. Because if you're making money, you need to know, okay, how do I hold on to the money? I'm making it now, but because my money has changed over the years. And so, and always, and this is business, no matter, have hobbies that you are passionate about, because that allows balance in your life. You don't always have to, I don't always do things that are real estate related. I would be crazier than what I am now. I don't want to always talk real estate. I don't, if I'm going to church, do not allow me this time with my church family, with God, with my church. I don't want to talk. Can you schedule something? Let's talk Monday. Let's talk this upcoming week. But this is not why I'm here.
So good.
And so, like you mentioned, the pivot, being ready, because real estate, property management is a niche that I'm not sure if it found me or I found it, but I'm thankful for it. Because I don't know, Pansy, if I would still just be doing real estate, because it's so emotional. My youngest client, I've had 2 18-year-olds, and then I've had up to, Granny was in her 80s, and it was 3 generations that were buying the house together. So I've had all in between. And I've cried with my, buyers at their table, because they didn't think they were the first. I am 4th generation homeowner, but some of my clients, no one has ever owned a home. And so when you have stories like that, that's unbelievable, because they did not think this was going to happen. Or if they had not had me as their cheerleader and kicking them in the booty, like, we got this. You did not come to me to give up this easy.
Come on, for real.
And so just be ready you got to be ready to legal hustle. We cannot eat what we do not hunt. I have had wonderful cheerleaders, but it's times that, I've had some interesting clients, and I love them. I've had, of course, I mentioned 18A. I've had drug dealers. I have had, single moms, single dads, husbands who couldn't tell their wife that there was child support. We can't close on this house, Anika, because I have had, where'd this money come from? Well, we can't tell where the money came.
Oh,
I don't know what this client gonna tell you, but then it got nothing to do with me.
You done had it all.
I have had it all, but it has been absolutely wonderful. Oh my gosh, it has been wonderful.
Oh, it's an experience. That's what I'm hearing. Yes, and you gotta, but also it sounds like too, you have to have a level of emotional intelligence.
You do, and you've got to just. Yeah, you do, but you got to go with the flow. You got to know your people. You got to, because most of my clients have looked like us, but I've been fortunate to have all types of clients. But I know how to talk to my people. What we not going to do is this today. Now, you must have had a bad day. You going to call me back when you get over, because I didn't do this.
Right.
I ain't sleep next to you.
Come on.
I didn't do this. And so they're like, crazy. I'm like, but we'll talk later.
Right.
But you just gotta know your you gotta know your fellow human beings in order to do what I've been doing this
exactly
long.
And the relationships
you've
built those are relationships.
Oh my God,
you can't just have those type of conversations and responses with anybody. You've intentionally built those relationships with them, and they trust you.
30 years. So I am on some Gen Z's. So I had their parents my age, then I've had older. And then I've had their kids my age. Then I've had kids your age. And then I've had some Hispanic Gen Zs. Because they are doing it with real estate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And I'm talking house hacking. I'm talking, amazing. Oh, wow. My goodness. You give me some brown sisters and brothers any day, because they, yes. And beautiful clients. When they trust you, you getting a whole village.
Oh, yeah. And they'll keep bringing them. Nobody's coming to save you.
No.
That right there. There was a lot of gems, but nobody is coming to save. Like, you have to have a different type of hustle. You want to get in real estate, this is what you truly want to do. Like, if you're lazy, then this is probably not for you.
If you're lazy, if you think that the check is going to come easy, because there's so many beautiful Black female real estate agents now. And then, but everybody ain't going to use somebody Black.
Correct.
Because of slavery. That was a heck of a recipe. That was a heck of a recipe that people are still following to this day. That's a whole pound cake that's still made.
Right.
Called slavery. In the relationships that we do not trust our own people. And so, yes, you have to, if you are not literally ready to hunt, you will not eat. No, there is no way. You're going to be broke. You're going to be hungry.
Woo. Gems dropped. Okay, we got to shift over to SheBuild. SheBuild. So tell us a little bit about how that was created and about SheBuild for those who are listening who are not aware of SheBuild.
Okay, so SheBuild stands for supporting her empowerment through building of the woman internally and externally. So again, just God, you've heard me say, if you ain't understood, I do have a relationship. Right. I do, and I've had to. So about maybe 27 years ago or so, God whispered in my ear, I got an assignment for you. And I'm like, what is it? I need you to work with incarcerated women. What the hell? Why me and why that population? Nobody in my village that I know of that was a female that had been incarcerated or that they had admitted.
Wow.
So I'm like, I had known men. I'd been,
Yes.
gone to the prison to visit these fools, but no. So I'm like, So right around that time, I had this is how long ago this was, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette was still posting in the want ads, for jobs. You don't even know about that. And
I know about Democrat Gazette, but I don't know none
You're
about
like,
okay.
Right. That's how long ago it was. And so there was a position for a grant, like the office admin for a grant. For a grant for Centers for Youth and Family. I had no idea what the grant was for, but I'm like, okay, it was part-time. I'm like, part-time, I could still do real estate. I could still do this. Oh, okay, I'll go apply. Well, I go and they had probably about a 4-panel opportunity, individuals interviewing me. So I'm talking, I can work a room and everything. And they said, okay, with all the connections you have, can you be one of our case managers? I said, is it still part-time? They said, no, it's full-time. I said, well, I applied for I said, what is this grant about? You ready for this? It's a new grant, and we are helping mothers to parent from prison. We go to all the prisons in the state of Arkansas. So at that time, it was McPherson, that's in Newport, about an hour and a half away from here. Then you had Hawkins in Wrightsville. That those women, November this year will be 2 years that they transferred them over, and they kind of do that at times. And then you had a 24-month or less facility in Jefferson County that we would go. Those were more short-term crimes. And so we would go, these women sign up, you sign up when you're incarcerated, you sign up for programs, so it helps, your parole plan. And so literally we're helping the caregivers and the children had to be in Pulaski County. And so we were going to the prison, women were signing up, and we were meeting their families. So I have relationships with women that I met at McPherson. Louise Garrett, and we just did an interview on 88.3 recently. So Nina was her daughter that she had when she was at McPherson 20-some years ago. We still have a relationship. I got to see Nina 2 years ago, and Nina has a baby now. So literally, Louise has been a tenant of mine a couple of years. We literally, God allows us to keep in touch. She'll go quiet on me, and then I'll send her a Facebook message or whatever, and I'll say, Heifer, where are you? You been quiet on me? What's going on? I'm gonna find you. Yes. And we reconnect. And so, but the original mission, and I'm kind of pivoting, we're talking about pivoting, it still is to assist women as they're transitioning out to be exposed to male-dominated industries. Well, Pansy, because I've been doing housing so long, the housing is needed. So now I'm pivoting. And I've been doing the housing piece, men and women, for 20 plus years. And so now that housing piece is like, God is like, that is more important. You can still do this, but the housing piece, because you and I both know, if I don't have a stable roof over my head, how do I keep my mind stable?
Exactly.
Now I can go, you and I can split a sandwich, but you might not let me keep couch surfing. You might not let me share this bit. You might exactly. You might share your food, but you might not share your peaceful place with me. And so, so SheBuild, I go, so you were talking about relationships. So I didn't have a name for SheBuild 20-some years ago. I just knew I wanted to work with incarcerated women. So my shower time, my 4:30, 5 a.m. shower time, I'm like, okay, God, I need a name. Well, take a step back. My mom died at 49. I was 29. So when I turned 50, I said, God, you have been so patient with me with this vision of working with incarcerated women. You could have given this to somebody else, but you keep saying, little girl, little stubborn girl, I got an assignment for you. What are you waiting on? So I said, okay, God, I'm about to turn 50. My mom did not see 50. This is going to be my commitment to you, to my mother, and to myself.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that was SheBuild. And in 5 years, oh my gosh, Pansy, like doors open, I started reaching out to the prison. They're like, hey, you're the real estate lady, right? And I said, yes. They said, but one lady remembered me when I was doing work 20-some years ago. She said, oh yeah, which prison you want to go to? I said, what? She said, do orientation, excuse me. Do orientation. And I said, well, McPherson was my home. Not my home because didn't spend time there, but yeah, McPherson was my home. And so I go an hour and a half once a quarter now, but I taught the Think Legacy class in the past, and I would go every month for 6 months. And in those relationships, so when the women are getting out, they're like, okay, SheBuild, where's my SheBuild? Where's my SheBuild? And that's been interesting because you're dealing with mental health, you're dealing with drugs, you're dealing with alcohol, you're dealing with molestation, you're dealing with all of these crazy factors that as women that we talk about and that we don't talk about. And that these women, that's part of the reason. We're talking about a lack of education. We're talking about we're talking about women get out, they done burn so many bridges. I've met women that have been incarcerated one time up to 11 times. And the 11 times had 10 kids. How you raising your 10 kids and you've been incarcerated in and out 11 times that she could remember? Yeah.
Wow. The impact. And I can see the impact that it has on you too.
I said, I'm not going to cry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. This is a safe space for you to, let it out. Yeah, and also, it's happy tears because it's the impact.
Woo.
I'm saying it's the impact. People don't know when you walk that road and you're truly, again, we talk, what is it? Our mission is impacting the next generation through authentic conversations and real life experiences. This is people real life. Yes.
It's okay.
I get you some tissue. I'm sorry.
Okay, I say
you got it. Sorry, but yes,
it's been because you're talking about women when they get out, they don't have anything, Pansy. We're having to give them clean panties, gently worn bras, their clothes for their first week. One woman recently, she said, I've been in the same drawers for 3 days now. Oh, Jesus, sis, I'm going to get you some panties tomorrow. And I did. I was like, what? You're not going commando? She says, no. And I did. I stopped at because we keep those supplies. So if any of your listeners, they're not being philanthropic, because that's been interesting, but not being philanthropic and want a way to give back,
yes,
SheBuild would be wonderful, because I always ask, what's your superpower lane? And so whatever your superpower lane is, that's where we're going to find a fit. If you say, I don't know, I can find something for you to do. But I want to know what's genuine for you. I was at dealer shopping, shouldn't have been shopping, but I was at dealer shopping the other day, and the young lady, she was, just all snazzy, about your age, and I said, do you have any clothes? She was plus size. I said, do you have any clothes that you're no longer wearing? She says, I have a few. I looked at her. I said, I told her about SheBuild. She goes, I have several boxes in my car right now that I was supposed to be giving to Goodwill because I just moved. I said, well, girl, why you tell me you just had a few? And we started laughing. So she's going to drop the clothes off Monday. I mean,
good.
Yes. And I said, well, what do you do? How do you give back? She said, I really don't. She's a content creator. So we're going to be looking at doing some things together.
So good. That one introduction. And she was trying to deny me her clothes. And she said, my sister. And then your listening audience that have, their ethnic hair, we need those products. Right.
Because there's so many times where we use a product one time and it's like, oh, this made my hair worse. What are you doing with those products? They're just in your cabinet.
Wow.
Donate them.
Yes.
Yes. donate your good used clothes, something that's 3 years or less. Don't give us any crap that came from your grandma's closet 10 years ago that smelled like mothballs.
Come on. For real.
But yes, 3 years or less, because it's just things we're not wearing, but we would wear. We bought it at one time to wear.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, did I answer your
No,
question
you
about
answered, yes, you answered my question about SheBuild.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are doing phenomenal things, and you already talked about how you all can get involved.
Yes, we need you. We need you.
They need you. Yes, they need you. So if you're looking at a way that you can give back, or you wanting to give back, please look into SheBuild, and I'll have all of her information below. I'll have SheBuild, I'll have Goss Management and Realty, so you all can dive deeper and also support everything that they are doing.
Thank you.
First, before we get into the end.
Okay. Oh.
I know. This conversation has been phenomenal.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Phenomenal. Now you all see. I said the personality, the everything, like literally light up a room.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And the impact that you have made and are making. So I'm gonna have two questions. The first question I wanna ask is, I would say you're a serial entrepreneur. Like you're in multiple lanes, and that's not an easy thing to do and still be successful at it. So I guess my question is, how do you balance that? How do you balance that? Still show up, still be able to, give it 100%. And like you said, you have challenges, but you still gotta show up and do the work. So how do you balance all of the work that you are doing and still be successful?
Great question. Thank you for that.
Yes.
It is, I mentioned my attention deficit earlier, and that's one of my superpowers, because me being busy keeps me out of trouble, because I could get in trouble just like everybody else. And so that early morning time allows me to start my day quiet and still. And then from there, I'm just keeping the balls in the air. But I also try to practice self-care and self-maintenance. I've even questioned this year, as Aisha, my youngest, says, go see the lady. I've questioned, okay, Anika, is it time for you to look at mental health? Because I've never, done that. I've always been great with bringing nice women around the table, and we have talks that we can be genuine and authentic with one another. But there's a lot going on with everybody now. And so to have that neutral party that I can just kind of dump on, and that's what they get paid for. That's, I'm maybe at that point now, but just, I think it's just within my DNA, and it makes me happy. It does make me happy to be able to balance these happy places for Anika. Not for anybody else, but for Anika. The things that I do is what I choose to do. And so if it's not something, I may say yes to see what it's about, but if it's not something I want to do, I don't have to go back.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have to. It's okay to expose yourself to something new, but if it's not something that's meant for you, I'm not going to ever get myself so involved that I'm committing to be on a committee and I'm committing to do this and then I back out. That's not me. But I'm going to see it typically 1-2 meetings or exposures, and I'm going to say, this isn't for me. And then I'm going to move on.
Right. Protecting that energy, too.
Oh, my goodness.
Protecting that energy.
Yes.
What really needs your attention, right? This is what they're asking, because if no matter where you're listening to this episode from, like if you are in any type of community like Arkansas, it's pretty close knit. There's a lot of opportunities for you to be involved. I'm saying people are already asking.
People don't think, they're like, Arkansas is so boring, Little Rock's so boring. I'm like, no, you're bored, because I can find you a lot of stuff to do every night of the week.
It's always something to do, but being intentional about where you're putting your time and energy, because that can become draining too if it's not the right thing.
If it's not what you are destined to, that place where you're, even that time, because seasons end. And so it doesn't have to be forever.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So good. So good. Final question.
Okay.
I'm getting sad. I'm like, why does it have to end? Why does it have to end? Literally, oh my gosh, this has been phenomenal. But the last question is, what final encouragement can you give to the listeners about creating lasting impact? Just going after your dreams, your goals, and balancing it all. So.
First of all, have hopes, goals, and dreams. It's got to start. If your listening audience has children, ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? They can change that. Ashton used to say, first she said, I want to be a cooking lady. I'm like, girl, what is that? You want to be a chef? And so what's your favorite thing to cook? Eggs. You're not going to make any money cooking eggs. And so, but we asked the questions. Aisha wanted to be, she wanted to swim with the dolphins. And I'm like, okay, that's a marine biologist. So we would put her in those spaces. If the girls talked about anything, we found and put them in those spaces. That was at a young age. And so just think, if my parents had done that with me, I don't know if your parents did that with you, but there is no telling how much further I could be now. So don't be afraid. Even our SheBuild women, they're restarting their lives. Let's talk about the restart. If we need to hit our imaginary reset button, I was not say every day, but once a week at different things. If you're talking about working out, eating healthy, or doing whatever, it's okay to press reset. It's okay to restart. Right. And I think we're not giving ourselves enough grace and permission to do those things when they need to be done. Having healthy spaces and people, allowing ourselves, I try not to always be a dumping ground. And I don't want people being always a dumping ground for me, because that's unhealthy. And so just, we talked about protecting your peace, protecting your energy, and knowing what's best for Anika, knowing what's best for Pansy at that time, because as humans, we change about every 5 to 7 years. And one of the questions I've been asking for years, a snake is able to shed their skin. And so I guess that's a new snake. I'm not a snake. I don't think I want to be, but I'm thinking about that. When we talk about the imagery, the snake is able to shed his skin. But as humans, if we're changing every 5 to 7 years, where does our dead skin go?
Wow. Where does our dead skin
go? Because it's not like the snake. Right. Where it's in the corner, just looking all scaly, snaky. Right. It's still on us. It's still being carried with us into that next person.
So true. Wow. And that makes me also just want to encourage and go back to therapy. Don't be afraid.
Yes, I agree.
Therapy.
Yes.
Therapy is phenomenal.
Yes.
Therapy is phenomenal. So if you are thinking about it, highly recommend, because again, you don't want, you may know how it feels, like he said, to be the dumping ground, but also you don't want to become that because you're not shedding
that skin. Yes.
Wow.
I have a book, and that one's kind of talking about the things we've been talking about, but I thought about, okay, let's look at the next steps. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in his head, if you hadn't figured that out today with me.
Been good.
But yeah, just thinking about making some deeper conversations, because, when I came in, y'all were asking about the coolness in here, menopause. We weren't talking about menopause in the past. And now, because when Mom died at 49, she had a hysterectomy, she wasn't talking about, I don't know if she was going through it at that time. And so I'm talking to the girls about it, because I am like, I need my girls to understand things that my village wasn't talking to me about. And so recently, the three of us were together. I'm so blessed. I've got such a beautiful relationship most days with my daughters. I absolutely love having girls. And so I said something was hurting me or whatever. My shoulder, I had to have a steroid shot yesterday, as a matter of fact. And so Ashton goes, menopause. And then because she was in town last weekend, and so she was talking about something with her body. I said, perimenopause? She said, pre-perimenopause. We fell out laughing. And so but it was funny because she's listening. She's aware, okay, my mom is changing, and this is a subject matter that she's not afraid to discuss with us.
And not feel bad about it or shame.
Not feel ashamed about it, because I'm like, yeah, I need a cold in here, y'all, or I'll be sweating like a church. But it feels good, so I appreciate that.
Yes, we got you. But for real, and that I just want to say kudos to you, because you're creating that space.
Thank you.
For her to feel comfortable. That matters.
Both of the girls, they're like, okay. I'm like, I mean, we have talked about having your mom, Pansy, to die when you are 29. That's a lot of life lessons that we did not cover as women together. Anthony and I had been married, 2 kids, but I mean, I wasn't 30 yet. Life was hitting me upside my head, to the side, to the back, everywhere. And you need those healthy older women in your village that help to raise you, to guide you through this crap. Yes. And not be, you talk about, you hear, I wondered, people will be married 25, 7, 30 years and get a divorce. And it's like, what are y'all doing? Well, I get it. Post-empty nesting, menopause, like there's another andropause that they're saying men are going through. This is Men Mental Health Month, and there was something that I shared on Instagram with some of my male village, and my almost 32-year-old nephew was talking about, he just got out of the military, and he was talking about how he's seeing this firsthand with his age group, PTSD. And so we've got to be having these conversations, not only for us as women, but allowing healthy spaces for our men too.
Yes, 100%.
And giving them permission to seek mental health also, because they may need it more than us. At times, because I could not imagine being a black man. It's tough enough for us, but it's even tougher for them.
Especially in this world. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I want to have a son in this world.
You know what? I understand what you're saying. I do.
It's a lie. No, nothing going on. Not pregnant. Like, just because
y'all messy. So no,
nothing going on.
Oh, girl, pants
right? No, but just like speaking intense, just the way it is, and hopefully, it won't be like this always.
It won't be, but just be ready.
Yes.
And pray for a healthy physical and mental significant other.
Right. Yeah. Oh my gosh, so good.
Thank you.
Such a safe space.
It was great.
Such a great conversation. Such a phenomenal woman.
Thank you.
Authenticity. Authenticity. And this is exactly how she is, y'all. Even off camera. Like, she brings herself. And that's what these conversations that is what these conversations are all about. So this is It's a YP Thing podcast. We're all about encouraging, educating, and elevating young professionals. And y'all have heard it first, Miss Anika Dixon. Please check out the links. Please check out all of the information I'm going to drop below. And please support everything that she is doing. We will see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. This was great.